Boom, there you go.
Hey y'all, it's 4 o'clock, and you are on Facebook Live at Rosetree Blown Glass Studio and Gallery. I'm Mark, I'm the owner along with my wife Brenda, and we are going to show you a little bit of magic today. Today we are going to make a wave vase. Pretty popular shape and size of what we do here, and so I thought, might as well do one. It'll be a 3-layer piece, so it's 3 gathers, color on the 2nd layer, and then shaping and doing the final on the 3rd layer. Oh wait, I forgot to say, we are coming from beautiful downtown, historic Algiers Point, New Orleans, Louisiana. So if anybody's new out there, welcome. We love having new people come in. We have a nice group of people who come tune in every Tuesday and Thursday, and hopefully you'll become one of them. And just tell your friends, and the more followers, more people we have going on this on these Facebook Lives, the better. As always, thumbs up, hearts. If you're not following us, please put that as a follower. If you are on a what's it called?
Watch party.
Watch party. Thank you. That's Darcy behind the camera. If you're on a watch party and if you want to ask questions, you got to come over to our thread and ask them there. Just put your questions in the comment section. I'll try to answer your glass questions as best that I can. Anyway, so I think I'm all set up, so we can go over and start.
Barry said morning. And we've got Kristen Corville said, me. I even turn on alerts when you go live. Excellent.
Wonderful, appreciate that. Okay, so we're going to go over to the furnace and get the first layer of glass on.
Barry also said, pants day down there today, huh?
It is. Glad you noticed. I'm looking at my butt now. Yeah, it's low 60s, high 50s-ish.
Yeah, that's the high for today.
Day, but cold front moved through. I guess whatever's going. I think New York's getting hit by all that now. But it'll. I think the weekend's supposed to go up to mid-70s again.
Yep. We're very confused weather-wise here.
Okay, so inside here is a ceramic bowl called a Crucible, and the Crucible can hold up to 400 pounds of molten glass. It's 2,050 degrees inside there. So that it's that hot that it makes the glass into a liquid. And I'm using a blowpipe, and the blowpipe is the same methodology that glass blowers have been using for 2,000 years or so. So that's my first layer, and you'll see that it is a liquid. So we'll go back over to my bench. And this is a steel table called a Marver, and the Marver is used to help shape and cool the piece. And I'm going to do what's called an air trap. I'm going to blow into the pipe to form a bubble off the end of the pipe inside the glass. I'm blow into the pipe, tap it with my thumb. When the cold air hits the hot glass, it heats up and expands, and because my thumb is on the end, it pushes against the soft glass, and you see the bubble. Is Corey still missing in action?
Haven't heard anything from him yet, but we'd see. Barry said here it's 31 degrees, feels like 20.
Ooh.
Christy Edwards is happy she made it.
Wonderful, welcome.
Leslie James Dupuis said, do you keep them running all night?
Keep the furnace running all night, because if we turn it off, it takes, if it goes down to room temperature, it takes a week to come back up to temperature. So it's just more efficient to leave it on all the time. The reheating chambers, we turn on and off when we're working. So they go on in the morning, off at night. So I'm letting this cool down a little bit, just to support the next layers on top. If this is too hot, the next layer superheats this and it gets really floppy. So So I'm waiting for that to lose most of the color down on the end of the pipe, and then I'll get another layer and roll in my color.
So, ghosts.
Right.
Carrie McCoy said, I'm a little late, but did y'all show the lamp that you made Tuesday?
No, I did not, because we have not put it together. I'm going to be mounting them on white marble bases, and I didn't have any, so I have to order those. I will post when we have the bases in and the pieces done. But the glass part looks awesome! So again, one more gather on top, and that will be rolled into the colored glass.
You know, it actually felt good when you opened the furnace today.
A little bit hot. Alright, so I'm going to roll into the color. Give a nice single coat to it. Keep that in. So this reheating chamber, like I said, the reheating chamber is only on when we're here. So we turn it on in the morning, I turn it off in the evening when I leave. And it's running about, kind of hot today, so it's running about 2200 or so. Give or take 50. And there's no glass in there, it's just hot to melt and help shape the glass.
So Christy Edwards was asking, do you treat the Marver with anything to keep it slippy?
It's not really slippy, too slippy. I've seen people who have polished Marvers, and for me that's like, I tend to push on it, so it slides too much. So I like a little tooth on it, so we clean it every now and then with like alcohol. And maybe some fine sandpaper, but for the most part, I don't know what kind of, I mean, we got the steel from a shipbuilder, so it doesn't really rust really heavily like most steel does. Some sort of, I guess, nautical steel that they use on ships. So it doesn't rust as easily. So the chips are melted in. I'm going to use an ice pick to comb the decoration back and forth for these.
The Jimmy's waving hi. And Pollock Glass Studio and Gallery says, Happy Thursday, Rosetree.
Happy Thursday. Know what's good about Thursday?
It's almost Friday.
Tomorrow's Friday, exactly. You've been here too long. Some combing the decoration. Just a little play on the feathering technique. The feathering technique goes back actually to the ancient Egyptians. So it's like 3,500 years or so. They used comb decorations for perfume bottles and things like that.
I wonder if it started, if that was the same time that it started in printmaking too.
Don't know. We have to do some research. So I'm heating this back up. So you see there's only a limited amount of time that I have to reheat and to actually shape the glass. The bigger the gather, the more time I have because it keeps more heat. So the larger the gather, the more time I have to work. Happy little feathers. All right, now I'm going to heat this up really hot and smooth that all out. I have to keep turning the glass all the time because it is a liquid. So if I stop turning, it will drip off. So again, I'm using the Marver shape. And I still have, you can see where it's smoothed out, but I have some little lines in there, depressions from the combing, that I'm going to heat up one more time and get out. So I'm going to use a nice hard heat. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the air trap again, and you can watch the bubble grow inside. And just smooth this out again. All right, now we have to wait. And it's real important that I wait the right amount of time because right now, from here to here is where my bubble is. So the walls are thick-ish, but if I let the next gather heat them up too much, they're gonna start collapsing and hard to control. So I really have to look at the color of that end of that pipe and make sure that it's down to like a cherry red or so to get my next gather.
So it's not quite time to tap it with the tools yet, huh?
Well, I mean, it'll sound like it's hard, but it's kind of, it's a different, it's not as ringy.
Yeah.
You know, it's kind of dull, and then when it gets cooler, it's more ring, like hitting a real glass.
Who knew today was going to be a percussion day?
Right? So my next step is going to get one final gather, and I'm going to use this tool, which is called a block, and I'm going to use a block to shape that last gather instead of the Marver, because the Marver cools it off really quickly, or a lot quicker than the wood block. So I want that time to spend with the piece, so that's why I use the wood block. All right, so you see it's pretty much gone, the color. So last gather.
Oh, Shaw's on and said, "Howdy, y'all. It's winter again in Florida too."
Wait a few days.
Everybody's learned your pants are shorts trick.
You can tell the weather by our Facebook Live. All right, so you see I got more glass on top. And I'm going to use the block to kind of redistribute the molten glass. So I don't want as much down by the neck. I want it more towards the bottom of the vase. So I'm kind of using the block to pull and shape. So I'm pulling it this way so the mass is down at the bottom.
So Jimmy is asking, how many pounds of glass do you keep ready?
How many pounds? I don't put glass in every day. So like tomorrow we'll have more glass. Tonight I'll put glass in because the furnace is real low. So we'll have another 150 pounds that I'll put in tonight. So it'll be up higher tomorrow, so it'll probably be about 250 or so in there. If I wanted to, I think we can hold about 400 pounds. I just can't take the time to fill it. It's really hard to, we blow a whole lot of glass, so it's real hard to keep it full.
Yeah, because you just filled it back up Tuesday.
Yep.
After our live then.
After each Facebook Live.
Yep.
I'm going to do the air trap again, so you can watch the bubble. See how it's getting bigger? And the next step is going to be, I will use a tool called jacks to cut a line into the piece. And that line will be where we take it off of the pipe, where we transfer the work on the lip.
So Barry asked Jimmy, how much glass do you need?
Right.
Christy said, can we see it in its raw state someday?
Sure. You can stick around for a second afterwards, and I'll show you. It's not really raw. What we put in is called cullet, and it's actually glass that's melted once. And we do that because it's just easier to melt. So it's not as much power for us to melt what's called batch. Batch takes more power to melt it because you have to melt it at a higher temperature. So the cullet is about 200 degrees cooler to melt, which doesn't seem like a lot when you're over 2000s, but it really is.
Jimmy said he needed kilos.
Now
So
you're talking different.
Leslie was asking, do you load the glass in the same hole that you gather from?
Correct. You know what we'll do today, since everybody is wondering?
We'll film the
Well,
loading?
stick around. I mean, I have everything ready to load the glass in, so we'll spend an extra few minutes at the end of today's Facebook and show what I do to put more glass in. By popular demand. So I try not to let it get too cold because it just spends more time heating it back up. So I keep a certain amount of heat in the piece. And you see my reheats. That way my reheats aren't as long and it doesn't take me as long to load the piece.
Jimmy said that was a reply to Mr. Birnbaum. And I know, but it made me laugh, so I thought I'd share. I can't keep up with you today.
Well,
I'm just going to stand here.
all over the place. So I'm just trying to get the shape for the wave vase, which is longer and a little wider at the bottom, and then I'm going to flatten it on that cork pad.
So yeah, Kristen said that she was curious about that too, the loading of the glass. Leslie said, oh good, that's interesting. And that she loves her soap dispenser that she got for Christmas.
Oh, wonderful.
Excellent.
Yeah, those were new since the whole wash your hands drive. So I'm using the Marver to cool that bottom tip so that I don't blow through the bottom.
Bobby said more caffeine.
And you didn't see me drinking my Mountain Dew today.
And you don't ever want to see me with caffeine.
You get coffee.
Yeah, but I get caffeine free. Or get decaf. It's got a little bit, but not enough to give me the reaction it normally does.
So I'm just going to lengthen this a little bit more by stretching it by rotating it by centrifugal force, brings the bottom out. And again, just cooling the bottom a little bit of air. Now I'm going to flatten it, but what I do is I kind of mark where I want it flattened just for the decoration. And so I'm going to heat the whole thing up and put it on the cork board.
The cork board.
Want to give the whole piece a nice heat. Okay, so it's nice and flat. Flattening the bottom, just so it stands. And I'm going to pull the bottom a little bit for my transfer. So I'm going to get another rod called a punty, a little bit of glass on the end, stick it on here, cut this off, and then that gives me space to work with the top, with the lip. So I'm flashing the whole piece. Go get punty rod. So a little bit of glass on the end. When glass is hot, it'll stick to other things that are hot. So temperatures have to be correct to make a successful transfer. And that's probably the hardest thing. It was the hardest thing for me, actually. The hardest thing to figure out was temperature to do the transfer. So this is a vial with diamond on it, and I'm going to chop that jack line that we put in a while back, and then tap, and it comes off, and I go and pick this back up.
So Andrea was asking what happens if you accidentally hit it while you're spinning it.
Hit it while
You're spinning it in there.
hit it on the floor, hit it, depends on how much damage I've done.
Well, I think it was probably when you're spinning it like that in there.
Well, if I hit the side, it pretty much marks it, so it's done.
But it's not going to break it there.
No.
But if you hit it on the floor when you're doing the big spinning,
that pretty much is done. I mean, peace over. Peace out.
Kristen said, I want to make one of those. It's so cool.
So I'm heating the whole piece up, and then I'm heating the lip up a lot harder, because that's the part that we want to shape. Occasionally I'll go in and heat the whole piece up, because you have to keep the connection where the punty is hot, or it'll crack off. This is the Zen part for Jerry Lynn. So I'm just going to open this up a little bit and cut it just to even it off.
So Jimmy was asking, how do you get the glass off of the punty when at the end of the day?
It cracks off on its own because different materials have different rates. When they cool, they shrink. So don't even go there, Barry. So when the pipe cools off, the glass shrinks at a different rate and it pops off.
So for the same reason that we put it in the annealing oven to let it go down slowly,
Right.
when we don't, it could crack off. So letting the temperature go down fast is how it comes off.
Yep.
Excellent.
Okay, so I'm opening this a little bit more. Yikes. Don't like that sound. So I'm going to heat it up and start forming the wave part of the lip.
So Christy was asking, is it punky or punty?
Punty.
P-U-N-T-Y?
Well, yes, but it's also P-O-N-T-I-L.
Ah.
It comes from Italian through France through England to us. So different people call it different things, and it's spelled differently.
It is well traveled.
Yes, just like the whole art form.
So if you said it with more of an accent, you'd get closer to the spelling.
Sure. So now I'm taking this and pulling. So you can see how hot the glass is at this point. And then I'm going to heat that up one more time.
Christy said we need a glossary of terms and spelling. Leslie said, where did you learn or study glass making?
I got my Bachelor of Fine Arts from Tyler School of Art in Philadelphia. And then I got the first Masters of Fine Arts from Tulane in glass blowing. But to be honest with you, a lot of it is just doing. School of hard knocks kind of thing. I've been blowing for 42 years or so. So it's just an accumulation of different skills and ideas. So I'm just hitting this with a torch. I want that top to be kind of smoothed out. So I just cut it off. And if I try to heat it just in the reheating chamber, this part's going to heat up more than the tip. And I won't smooth out the tip.
Christy said, I need to be prepared for the final exam. And Leslie said, that's beautiful. So do you enjoy times where you can just experiment with things instead of just doing the same pieces?
Yes, but I don't do that as much as I used to. But yeah, it's nice having that time to just... I used to do a lot more sketching, but now I don't do a whole lot of sketching anymore because I just do my sketching kind of on the pipe. So
That's always fun.
yeah. So that's pretty much the piece. So it has a nice wave in it. So now I'm going to take it off of the punny and put it into the oven.
And then don't forget to stick around because we're going to show you the glass and the raw and how he loads it.
So if I put the punny on correctly, it will come off just the tap. And then I'm going to take this torch, or this torch, cheater, and smooth out that punky mark, which is kind of sharp from where it broke off.
Christy said the after party.
Right.
And Barry said that he loves when you invent.
Yeah. I used to have more time, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so this goes in the oven. The oven's at 920 degrees, and it lives there. The temperature stabilizes. So 920 across the whole piece, and then about 16 hours or so, it'll go from 920 down to room temperature to relieve the stress on the glass. So that's the piece. Let me turn this off.
Bobby said second line.
All right, this is the extra innings.
We're going to second line to the after party of charging the furnace. Now, why is it called charging? Besides the fact that it makes me think of a cell phone.
Charging, well, adding to it. As a term to charge something is to
Like a cell phone.
like a cell phone.
Give it more power. There you go, Christy. That's your next word on your list.
Okay. So, I need glasses. So why don't we go?
There went our fire.
Stay right there. So I have this trough. Why do they call it trough? Because it's a trough. Then I'll put the glass in. I'll put the glass in there to put into the furnace. Let me show you over here a sec. So the glass comes in like little hockey pucks and cubes. So it's already melted, and what I do is we heat this up in the oven to 920 degrees, and then load it into the trough, and then load the trough into the furnace.
Does that get to be make it a smoother melt that way?
What happens is if you don't, these pieces are so thick that if you just throw them right in, they'll pop, and it'll get all over, and it'll coat the inside of the door, which is not good. And actually, first time I did it, it was like spitting glass back at me. It's like, no, we got to do something a little different here. So come on over.
Oh, Barry was saying, bring on the hockey pucks.
Right.
He's done this before.
So the thing is balancing 40 or 50 pounds of 1,000-degree glass from here to there. So you might want to go over there.
Yep.
Or,
I'm gonna get out of the way because I'm moving slow today.
right?
and I don't have it in me to run. Oh, they're already cracking at us. That is
So
one
I
hot
turned the
pot.
furnace off because I'm putting a big metal trough inside. And if by some stupid mistake I hit one of the elements, I don't want to electrocute myself.
Good thinking.
So you just take this. Shovel it in. And then I rake it to make sure it's not all in one spot. Turn the furnace back on.
Yeah, you could hear the popping from here.
And then what I do is I'll do that, let that go for about an hour, put another 50 pounds in, let that go for an hour, put another 50 pounds in. And then that's it for the day. Anyway, whew, got me out of breath now,
That was fun though.
right? That's it for today. Why am I so out of breath?
You were doing it faster than you normally do.
Probably so. Usually I take a 10-minute break or so before I do all this.
Also, you don't usually talk through it all at the same time.
All right, so you know what I say. Be vocal, shop local, help out local merchants. If you want glass or gifts or whatever, we'd love for you to go through us or one of the galleries that carry our work, which is great. Our website, www.rosetreegallery.com. Facebook, Rosetree Blown Glass, is that what we are?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, let's go.
Rosetree Glass Gallery.
You keep talking. I'll show them the sign.
Right, yep. Facebook's Rosetree Blown Glass. Instagram is the one that's Rosetree Glass Gallery. All of these are on YouTube, and hopefully, I don't know if I'll get the parts in for that lamp, but I will let you know about the lamp that we did on Tuesday. I'll post it so that y'all can see it. And everybody have a great weekend. Try to stay warm if that's the case. And thank you for coming, and take care of one another, love one another, be kind to one another. We'll see you all on Tuesday.